Hey, coconuts, welcome back to our first podcast of 2022. And Happy New
Hi,
Year to you all. Hey,
Happy New
Rakesh
Year to
Happy
here.
New
everyone.
Year. Hi, this is
Awesome, guys.
Anthony.
And Jefferson here as well.
Awesome, awesome. I think one quick update for all our coconuts and listeners out there is whatever you've been doing, telling your friends about us, or these sort of referrals has been really, really helping. We've just hit over 1,000 followers on Spotify. How awesome is that, guys?
Woohoo!
We got it. We got
All
it.
right.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
Hmm.
Oh my god. But speaking of which, right, I think, just diving right down into it, this week, though, has been quite slow, hasn't it?
Mhm.
I
It's
don't
been a
know.
very,
Did,
very
did you
slow
read
week
the
for all of
news?
us.
Sorry, Jeff?
What about, what about Anthony? What's on the news?
I don't know. It's New Year's, right? I barely read anything. Markets are closed. You don't want to hear about crypto Ponzi coins, so it's okay.
I know. Okay. In all fairness, I did not read the news, right? And so I'm
There we
sure it's
go.
been a very,
Now we know
very,
why.
very slow news week. We were pretty much right worried. It's a little awkward period between Christmas and New Year's. And it's like, do we go to work? Do we, if we do go to work, do we actually work? Or, because it's Christmas and New Year's, everybody's out of the office. Like, what do
Yeah.
we actually do at this time?
Well, I was at
2 hour
work,
lunches,
guys.
3 hour coffees.
Yeah. And on that front, actually, right? So we, coconuts listening out there, we thought we'd do instead a hindsight of 2021. What has been, the big news of 2021, and thought we'd talk you through that. At the same time, we have actually just, want to share some lessons that we have learned, and hopefully this will be helpful for you, as well as putting all of that into 2022 with your investment goals and strategies. Um, cool. So I think, Anthony, would you like to maybe just tell us what are the three things we're going to do today and talk about?
Sure. 2021 is the year of the retail trader, right? So, we're going to talk a bit about meme stocks. We're going to talk about crypto and decentralization. All fantastic. But of course, it all comes in with the macro, right? That's the big picture. That's what's going
Mm,
to push a lot of what has happened and what will happen. So we'll just quickly talk about what really happened through the year as well. So yeah, lots to talk about from both the micro and macro perspectives.
definitely, right. And of course, we've got Jeff here this week, and we're very happy to have our macro guy again.
Yes.
Happy to be back, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, man. And tell us, Jefferson, like how has 2021 been for you in that macro perspective?
I mean, for a start, right? Like we were talking about 2022. I personally feel that it's pretty much like 2021. And in particularly, so you've seen like markets being closed since on Monday, and life pretty much revolves around coronavirus as well. And 2 weeks cut by the whole COVID-19 didn't really get in the way of great market returns, and there's a good
Mhm.
chance that the pandemic will cease to be of much of an issue this year. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Fingers crossed,
2021
man.
has been
Yeah.
yeah. 2021 has been a year for which for myself is a year of growth, right? And we definitely be talking a little bit more about the growth and value stocks as well later on to explain how it's been. Um, yeah, on the macro front of things, I think that there's quite a bit that's been going on. If you think about
Mm,
it, there was the whole announcement of the interest rate hikes in 2022, bonds buying back that we covered quite a bit 2 weeks ago. Inflation basically grew
yeah.
massively in 2021 as well. Um, not the kind of thing that everyone was looking for, because it kind of signaled that easy money is behind us, right? But
Mm,
I think
mm,
2021 has really taught us what it has really taught us about inflation is that an initial inflation shock was driven by this whole transitory impact of the pandemic and only affected a few sectors of economy. But it has then steadily broadened to affect the entire economy, and
right.
raising the issue whether the Fed, and other central banks had left it too long take action,
Or to
and
like raise
from
their
all the
interest
different,
rates and so on.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and with all the different indicators, we basically look at how wages have been rising, not so much mine, um,
I don't think
and
any
we
of
also
ours has
see,
been rising, you know.
yeah,
But
exactly.
there's always hope.
So
There's always hope.
yeah. And yeah, it was a year where we looked into commodities and real materials as well, where you have the whole Evergrande situation happening. Sorry, I mean
Mm.
the Evergrande ship that was stuck in the Suez
Yeah, the
Canal.
Suez Canal, right?
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God, yes, the
Uh,
Suez Canal. How many
That was
yeah,
billion did they
2021,
lose?
right?
Oh my God,
yeah.
that was
Was it?
2021.
Yeah, exactly. It was
Yeah.
the so
Jeez.
really exciting time for all of us. And then you look back, you have the whole China Evergrande moment, which is looking more like long-term capital management. So yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So ever since
Managed
China
decline.
responded to the whole GFC in 2008 and helped the world to recover from the massive monetary and fiscal stimulus, then there has been this
Mm.
concern of a Minsky moment, right, where investor will suddenly lose their confidence in that. Yeah, and this whole Evergrande situation was one of the highlights that happened in 2021. Who have expected that stricken property developer to left to negotiate
Yeah,
with
that's
their
right.
creditors and appear to be the start of a whole new debt crisis. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's
Yeah.
actually,
something.
come to think about it, it's been a weird year, right? That there's just so much going on.
Exactly.
We've
Yeah.
touched about all this, it just seemed to be going from one crisis or one moment
To
to
the next.
another. It's just like boom, oh, Evergrande tech, China tech. I think there was a dip in growth stocks in May as well. Then
Mm.
for a while, everybody was playing, the reopening trade, and cruise liners went bonkers. Then shortage of natural gas. It's just been insane, man. I'm tired.
It has actually, right? It's been such a volatile year, right? For all of us. But I think I want to just dive down a little bit more into this interest rate hikes, that you guys were talking about, right? And I think one of the points that Jefferson mentioned earlier was the fact that there was a lot of stimulus, right, from 2020 into the market. Effectively, the Fed just reducing interest rate, giving money, right? In Singapore, we got lots of money from the government as well to spend and
Again, speak
rediscover
for yourself.
vouchers
I did
and
not get any.
all right. Like all my rebates and my GST rebates and all of this money to go and spend effectively, right? And what they tried to do here was to funnel the economy to make sure you try and spend so that it won't be affected, right? In the form of, and in this case, COVID was affecting all the spending and all of that expenditure. Where Jefferson came in, though, was that it was affecting certain sectors, right? We had tourism, we had all these other things. But later on, it became the entire industry where we felt, at least for myself, right, as an investor in 2021, was that there was a lot of liquidity in the market, especially in Q2, Q3, where a small expected increase, like, for example, on an earnings call, if it was above expected, it shot like crazy in these growth stocks, right? What do you guys think about this? Do you think they left it too late? Do you think it should be a little earlier?
Mm.
Jefferson, why
Anthony,
don't
you
you
have
go
any
ahead
thoughts?
first?
Oh, okay. For myself,
Yeah,
I
go
I
ahead, go
guess
ahead.
I guess on the back of the whole rate hike situation is really inflation, right? It's just one word, inflation.
Mm,
And it itself, if it rises from here, then the Fed definitely have no choice but to tighten. And expectations of a Powell put to rescue the stock market from a fall would definitely be disappointing. And I think, as mentioned the previous time, it's kind of a treading on thin ice, right, for the Fed, where if they were to bring the rates up too quickly, then it would definitely hurt equity returns as well. And this whole situation is not something where Powell is very apt at handling, because he has always been a Fed chair that comes in with fiscal stimulus, monetary stimulus to help
mm,
to aid the whole economy, to just basically loosen up the whole post 2008 environment, and just to aid with liquidity issues due to
got it. Got
coronavirus
it.
itself. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that the question to which whether the Fed had stepped in late or early, I guess it's still up for debate, right? Very much up for debate, and it's only through past data, which in this case was inflation, then we started seeing that, hey, it was a nasty surprise coming forward and something has to be done.
Got it.
So the Fed, comes in, take action and say, hey, we are going to, do some form of you know, we're gonna
Tightening.
basically do some tightening in that sense. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
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 So it's definitely a year
Got it.
where inflation has proved worse than all, but the most pessimistic forecast in that sense. And well, risk assets still had a so banner year, right? So, but I would foresee that it's
It
unlikely
has
to
not been bad,
happen
right?
in
Yeah.
2022. Yeah, but who knows?
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
And Anthony, what are your thoughts, man? So effectively, Jeff said that he needed historical data to prove that inflation was too many. So really,
Yep.
the Fed left it late. Let's be honest, right?
No, well, no.
Yeah.
But
So,
what are
so
your thoughts? Yeah.
I don't think he said that, but yeah, I have a lot of sympathy for them, right? I mean, look, we
Mm.
are still in the middle of a pandemic, lots of
Yeah.
liquidity sloshing around that kind of pushed everything up. House prices went crazy, supply chain issues, everything went mad, and that led to inflation, right? But the reality is this,
Mm.
right? If he raised rates too early, he would just cut off the economic recovery in that sense. Right. And that's part of his role as well. His role is not just to
Mm.
control inflation, it's also to manage in a sense that the economic cycle. And if that's the case, yeah, I mean, I think in reality, it's right to place more emphasis on making sure that jobs come back, making sure that there's real economic growth more than shit, my growth stocks have tanked. Oops. So yeah, I think a bit of sympathy for the tightrope that he was made to walk. But yeah, that's by the by, right? I really hope he turns on the money printer again one day.
Yes, hopefully, because my
Yeah,
my portfolio is red
I
again,
don't,
man.
yeah, I don't want tightening to lead to a recession, right? Because
No,
that's just a lot
no,
more pain. Yeah,
it's
so
a
so
it's
so
a
if he's
tighter
loose with
cord
it,
now.
it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely, right? Like I said, it's a tighter cord now, and he's got to balance that out. And definitely sympathy for him. And I don't want to be in his position. In all fairness, it's very hard to keep everything at balance, right? But and I think the last point that I have here is that with regards to this hike, interest rate hikes, and whether to tighten or whether to not tighten throughout 2021 was effectively COVID just literally said, "Hey, I'm circling back." Right? We've got the alpha, the beta, the gamma, the omicron now, and it
Omicron.
literally
Yep.
said, "Hey, I ain't going anywhere. I'm coming back." So in 2022, for example, if there is another variant, what do we think here? Do we think that, based on his history or historical data, inflation is high, so therefore I'm tightening it? Yeah. What are your thoughts here, Anthony? Start with you.
I don't think anything will change. I think we are all learning to live with the virus in a sense. And if I mean, once a tragedy, 10,000 statistic, right? And there's just so many people have died. I think that there's a sense of numbness to it.
Hmm.
We just live our life, manage as well as we can. If you are American and you don't want to wear a mask, so be it. That's on you, and that's it. We live our life as best as we can, and so I don't think further variants actually will have too much of an impact on the real economy in that sense, right?
Got
We
it.
have managed the worst of the situation. We have gone past it. Of course, that being said, I'm not a virologist. I have no idea what could happen. It could be real. It could be deadly, more deadly, and more transmissible, right? But
Got
I
it.
mean, I think in reality, we'll just find a way past it and minimize the damage, right? The playbook is written. It's just a matter of repeating it again and again.
Got it. Got it.
Cool.
Awesome,
Well,
guys. All
I
right.
think
I think, yeah, go for it.
yeah, I think that on the flip side, right, one of the things that we can think about is that if the virus is gone or the whole pandemic subside, then what? You know, one of the things that top of my head I could think of will be the issue of shelter, right? Which, uh, then you start seeing all the house prices have been always going up. Then you're gonna see rents also start to follow upwards as well. It's
Mm.
never going down, in that sense. And that also means that there's gonna be increase in demand and higher prices from all the economic reopening, and all of which will still run to the base case of which, or realistic base case of which, for 2022 to be dominated by the continued knife edge judgments by the Fed. I would believe so. Yeah.
Got it. What is the knife edge judgment?
No, I mean it's
It's just the
it's just a
balance, right?
phrase,
That
right?
he
Yeah, it's
he
just a
Got
can't
it.
tighten
balance.
too
Yeah,
quickly
yeah,
and he can't
yeah,
tighten too slowly as well.
Got
yeah,
it. Got
yeah,
it. Like a double-edged sword, lah. A bit.
yeah. You just want inflation to
Think.
not accelerate, but
Yes, you want
it's
inflation
hard
is good, so
to
you want
control,
inflation,
right?
but you don't want
Yeah,
too high
yeah,
inflation.
yeah.
Get what you mean.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Look, I think we spent quite a lot of time on this. I think it was a good topic to start off with, just as a retrospective and a futuristic view. But I think one of the fun things I want to talk about this week is meme stocks, right? Anthony, I know you have a lot to say about this for
No, I don't
2021.
actually. Okay, wait. Before we get there, did any of you try to play the meme stocks?
No,
Did
I was too
don't
late,
Not
man.
me.
I was too late.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I paper handed, right? I was like, oh yes, I tried to do something with AMC, put it in, it went up, it went down. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. I
Right.
can't deal with the volatility. It's just insane, But I think, well, but that's fun, right? That's just the whole point of a meme and being able to enjoy and being able to be that part of it, which was exciting for a bit. What I was really interested in with meme stocks is, look, I mean, you kind of expect it to go away and to subside slightly, but the valuations are still there. AMC is still what, $40, I think. GameStop is
Mm.
still 100 plus.
Yes.
How are
correct.
their value? How are their market caps still so high, right? I think that's the question that I have. Is it some sort of anchoring? You don't want them to drop too much. Is it some sort of psychological bias? Because we are not screwing the short sellers. I don't think anybody really dares to short these stocks now. So
Yeah.
what's going on? Do you guys have any ideas?
You
Wow.
wanna go
Jeff,
first,
why don't you
Rakesh?
answer that one?
Okay,
No, Jeff,
okay.
all you, man.
Yeah. So I guess one of the things, the rise of meme stocks to me was a classic speculative bubble, right? But with one crucial difference. So most bubbles, through history itself, are fueled by excessive greed in that sense. But this one was really driven by rage and perhaps also desperation in that sense. So you start seeing people piling into GameStop and other meme stocks like what you have mentioned already, because they want to force short sellers out of business. They saw them as responsible for the financial crisis of 2008 and
Mm,
for steepening inequality and injustice that follow which after. I
right.
also think that many of them felt as though they had nothing to lose, and had nothing at all in that sense. And in all alternative, gambling everything on a few bets is kind of their best bet in that sense. So buyers were motivated by righteous anger, uh, co-opting
So
markets
effectively
to
stick
right
it to the
wrongs.
man, lah.
Yeah.
Stick it
Exactly.
to
But
the
they
man.
can't
Yeah.
still be angry
So
now, right? It's been 8 months.
I
That's
guess
a lot of
in some
I
rage.
know,
sense,
yeah. Hey, get over it, lah. Finish
in some
already.
sense, it's been a thing that has been ongoing for quite a while as well, right? It's a situation that you have, what was that movement on Wall Street again? If you guys remember,
Occupy Wall
Occupy
Street.
Wall Street.
Occupy Wall Street. Yeah, that was the less more of a political front, but in this case is a economics one, right? So from that perspective itself, I guess COVID gave people the avenue to explore their options on the internet as well. Then you
Mm.
start seeing like Robinhood,
Yeah,
putting
I
out
guess it's a
products
bit of
for
a
the.
boredom trade as well. Nothing to do,
Yeah,
just go and trade some
exactly. So
shares.
Yeah.
you start seeing
Join it on
people
Reddit.
piling
Join it
in.
on Reddit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And even so, even hedge funds, they came on board as well. So I think the whole rage itself against this whole financial machine still exists, but probably a
Mm.
lot more watered down in that sense right now. Yeah, because you have the big boys coming in to play as well. And
Yeah, I
the
mean,
the playbook is the playbook is pretty much standard, right? So um everyone sort of know what's going on, where to look at your Wall Street bets on Reddit. Yeah, I know of people scraping data from Wall Street bets as well as a form of alpha to see where to position themselves in hedge funds.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's one of
Okay.
the it has become a strategy as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? A populist movement that wanted to make hedge funds go broke is now a hedge fund strategy. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
I
you always
know.
want to be on
That's
the right side
great.
of things, right? Yeah.
I think that the idea is you just want to follow the money. That's it.
Exactly.
Don't bother trying to fight for the small guys.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, man.
Cool, Raj.
Ah, man, but
Anything
that
else?
was no. I think that was, I think it's a very interesting thing for this year. I mean, in our podcast as well, we talked about Web 3.0 and blockchain and really trying to decentralize and not have the powers situated into a few big corporations. And I think this was really enlightening to see that other people also felt the same, lah, right? If a group of people can do the same to stick it to the maniosis, right? Trademarking School of Rock there, but um it's definitely I think a good thing for the next couple of years. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know, right? Like now it's just such a thing. You don't dare to short any meme stocks. Like we talked about DWAC, I think a month or two back, right? And it just shot up,
We
and it's
did.
like, oh, you didn't short it? Nope. It's way overvalued. What are you gonna do? Yeah, just forget it. Let's move on and find another trade.
No, definitely. All right, guys. I think that's it. Last topic that we want to talk about was crypto adoption in 2021.
Yes,
Jeff,
continuing a speculative bubble.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Then we have
Jeff,
to
what are your
start with
quick thoughts here?
yeah, we have to start with Dogecoin, right? It's like what Elon Musk was saying that is the people's crypto. Yeah, so you have yeah, I mean
Oh
Elon
my
basically
God.
tweeted to let everyone know that hey, Dogecoin, meme coin, yes, but it's also the people's crypto. I guess that was the onset to which how a lot of people started getting onto crypto. And of course, you can't forget about NFT boom, right? Where we started the year in January with that.
True.
First, you have the game Axie Infinity, inspired by Pokemon and Tamagotchi, play to earn kind of game where everyone pretty much familiar with the gameplay as well. And then later on, you start having companies coming in and say, "Hey, I'm into crypto." So Tesla, Square,
Right.
MicroStrategy, even Adidas came in, collaborated with Bored Ape Yacht Club for their whole into the metaverse project.
Mm.
So that's something interesting,
Yes.
and not to forget, countries are also getting into cryptocurrencies, where El Salvador, you know,
Yeah.
accepting Bitcoin
What did they
Legal
do?
tender.
as the
Oh yes, that's
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Bitcoin is legal
yes,
Yeah.
tender,
exactly,
right?
yeah,
It's not just
yeah,
CBDC. It's Bitcoin is legal tender.
yeah.
My
So
God.
it's been a very
That's
busy
cool.
year for in the crypto space.
I mean, in
And
all
definitely,
fairness, though, to jump in there, didn't Tesla come up to say they were going to accept Bitcoin?
yes,
Was it
yes,
that or
yes.
no? They said, oh, did they
I think
buy
they said
Bitcoin? I
yes, then
forgot.
they said no, then they
Then
said
they said no. Yeah,
yes, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
and then they
know.
say
Yeah,
maybe, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, what a year for crypto, eh? I have to say though,
Yeah.
before this year, I didn't know squat about crypto. Right. I've only learned it probably in the last 6 months exactly, and I don't even know a lot of it either. Right. I'm still not there yet. I'm still learning every day. But definitely 2021 was the year it opened my eyes to crypto.
yeah, and it's so changed, right? I remember the last time round in 2017. I think that was the last bull cycle in Bitcoin, and I was stuck in the office waiting for documents, and I was just like, oh yeah, how should I? This sounds interesting. Let me go buy some Bitcoin, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to do it.
Are you
And
serious?
docs came in, and I was like, oh shit, okay, it's midnight. I better get back to work. But yeah, I mean, 4 years on, it's changed so much. Now we have ads for crypto exchanges everywhere. Binance
Yep.
gets put out of the country, it makes the news globally, even in the Financial Times, right? It's just so much better accepted now. And look, I think it's been amazing, right? Crypto, shady, it's not great, money launderers, but Web3, same technology, fantastic, right? It's the future. it's been a fantastic rebranding over the last 2-3 months. Right? They're talking about the same thing, but yeah, it's Web3. It's the future, man.
Hey, I mean, you're talking about shady, right? Crypto being shady, but on the hindsight, if you think about it, if you had decided to long Ethereum, which is the second most widely held cryptocurrency after
Crypto.
Bitcoin,
Yeah.
you could actually make up to 400% despite a sell-off towards
This
the end of
year.
the year. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And if you short silver futures, that will actually, which was down 13% of the year, you would actually make a portfolio gain of 480%. Yeah,
Wow.
I
that's
think
a
just long Ethereum is
whooping
enough.
percentage.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think long
exactly.
Ethereum.
So
I'm not gonna short silver.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
but
So
yeah,
from
crypto's insane.
yeah,
But it's fun insane, I would say.
it's really attempting to be the new store of value and taking on the whole role that for century has been filled by precious metals, in my opinion. So exciting space. There's a lot of utility to look out for as well. Let's see how 2022 will be. Yeah.
Yeah, but sorry, just on that one, right? Because I mean,
Mm.
Bitcoin store of value, I kind of understand that, but then you look at Ethereum, Solana, all your other alt L1s. I think there's more than a store of value play there now as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for
It's
sure.
the smart contracts, it's building up ecosystems, and all of that kind of stuff, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so you're right to say that like transactions in it embed smart contracts and makes essentially makes the whole blockchain network a lot faster and accommodating towards the rapid growing user base as well. So those are the scalability of the L1s and L2 blockchains native tokens as well. Yeah, I think that there's gonna be a lot of coins that will come out to say that hey, we are L1, L2 kind of coins, and adopt us essentially. But the first few movers will definitely be like your Terra network, Ethereum is gonna be one of them, Solana,
Yeah.
Avalanche. Yeah, these are
True.
the few that
Yeah,
people are
it's
still
your
looking
network
at.
effects,
Yeah,
right? The 5 or 6 that
exactly.
get up
Yeah.
there will hopefully
We'll
stay
stay
there.
up there as well.
Sorry, I say hopefully
That's
because I have quite a bit there. So yes, hopefully.
right.
Man, be hopeful.
Well,
Yes.
2022, guys. Maybe it is the year of
Yeah.
crypto, huh? We never know. We never know.
Yeah.
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 Well, what a year though, 2021. We're fast into 2022
20,
now. Right?
yeah,
Yes,
2022,
yeah.
you're actually
20.
gonna have crypto. I think DBS is gonna come out with crypto exchange as well. So that's gonna be
Oh,
exciting time
really?
for
Oh, I
Singapore.
think
Yeah.
they actually I thought they already
Yeah.
have one. It's just for AIs and not
I think they have already
and not
allowed
retail.
for like the equivalent of Pay Now, PayLah using crypto currencies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
So
that's cool.
they are going forward to put out digital exchange, which is gonna be the only the world's only bank back full service digital exchange. Yeah, offering cryptocurrency trading. Yeah. So
I hope they have
it's
more
definitely gonna
coins
be an
though.
exciting time.
I
I
mean,
hope they don't lose my
imagine all
money
this
though.
and then I mean, imagine all this and they only sell you Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you go, come on, dude, there's more than that, right? But if they could do like NFTs and your various altcoins or your shit coins, I think that would be really interesting.
Wow. I mean, firstly, if any people in DBS are listening, we're happy for to sponsor as well, even an episode. We got 1,000 followers now, so please hook us up over at hello at the Financial Coconut. We'll be happy to speak to you. That was part serious, I have to say.
I'll be
Cool,
happy to have
guys. I
them on
mean,
board as well. Yeah.
yeah, I think we all would. I think it was a good year, a good retrospective, a good chat with you guys. Before we end off, any last words?
Okay, I don't know,
Anthony, you
right?
wanna-
Any things you guys learned? Any things you guys learned? For me, it's up and down, right? This was really a roller coaster. If you were in growth, the first few months were fantastic. You felt like a genius. Everything was going up, and then in May, kind of, oh well, maybe not. It's going down again, and then it went back up. And then, of course, if you're in crypto, it just went up and up and up and up and up. So yeah, I think a big part of it was really just learning to manage your emotions and to manage your trades and your position sizing, right? Just because it goes up, it doesn't mean that your thesis is working. It could be Archegos, blowing up, but in the meantime making themselves very rich in the process. So yeah, it's just managing emotions, making sure that you size your trades correctly, managing your risks, not taking profits. It's always good. So yeah, I think that's my one takeaway from the year, I would say.
Got it. Wow, thanks for that, Anthony. Jeff, what is your takeaways?
For myself, honestly, the when it comes to year end, I tend to do this one thing, which is like the title itself, right? Hindsight 2021. I will usually look at the different hindsight traits, what's been there out in the market and things that I miss, and I think probably one of the things will be why bother doing that, right? But I personally, I feel that it's always good to have a clear grasp of the most likely macro scenarios that actually happen through the year itself. And when you sit down to think about it, a lot of these hindsight traits that happen actually make sense. And it's noticeably, if you think about it, a lot of the big monies come from all these reversals as well. And for myself, I always believe that if you have a view, stick to it and roll with it. Yeah, basically just have some form of contrarism. Yeah, and look at how it is. It basically worked out beautifully in 2021, right? Yeah, not so much my portfolio because I have a lot of hindsights. But yeah, in general, Mr. Market basically gave a lot of opportunity to buy and sell stuff for far less than what it's worth, right? Yeah, that's myself. That's for myself. Yeah.
Got it, man. I think mine was to manage my emotions, right? Like I felt I struck gold. I felt like I should be working at Goldman Sachs or something. Like everything I touched went up, everything I bought went up. And then
And everything goes down.
everything is red in my portfolio now, man. I don't want to talk about now. We're talking about 2021 hindsight, right? But yeah, everything went up. Even in May when people were talking about it down, I'll be like, oh, my stocks didn't go down. I know what I'm doing, right? And clearly in the last quarter, last couple of months at least, right? We all know that what has happened to the growth stocks, and I'm quite heavy into growth stocks. Of course, with the exception of a couple of mega tech. And I think now is the time that the real investors or your investor skill will come into play. That's really what I think, right? 2021, whatever you touch goes into gold. Whatever you put just rises, right? I'm in the startup scene. The startup scene was getting funded left, right, and center, right? So, whereas now it's a lot tighter, right? Now raising funds is a lot harder than it was in early 2021. So for me, my lessons was manage my emotions. Make sure before I just buy, don't just listen to some advice into it yourself. And I'll do the research myself, look at the fundamentals. What do I look at? Do I think that there's potential with regards to this stock? And then I'll go into it. So that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm continuing to do. And of course, when the thing is red and my portfolio is red right now, don't sell. Just believe in yourself.
Cool.
Yes.
Very
man.
nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys so much for taking the time again on Tuesdays. And thank you, Coconuts, for listening. We hope you learned a thing or two and enjoyed the banter with us today. We will see you all next week. All right.
With some
catch
And
news.
us.
welcome to 2022.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, guys.